Hey, what's up YouTube? DIY guy here. We're going to be working on my 2014 Honda Civic EXL today to replace the climate control fan or the blower motor. It's making a high-pitched sound, the squeaking. That tends to happen. This car is 6 years old and got a little around 80,000 miles. So if you've got that annoying squeak and you want to get rid of it, it's really less than 30-minute job. I got the part for about $87. You can get an aftermarket part cheaper than that, but it's definitely something that's worth doing yourself. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. You only need a couple tools and a flashlight, and that's it. Okay, so here is the new blower motor. As you can see, there's really not much to it. It's just, just the fan that's going to spin, and the bearings wear out, and that's what's making the squeaking noise. Now I've ordered the original Honda part. You can get them cheaper. The aftermarket parts are a little cheaper. For something like this with the bearings, I tend to go with the OEM part, and I can put that link down in the description. It costs about, I think, around $87 for this piece. Now looking at this replacement, you can see that it's really going to connect these three holes here is all that's required to take it out, other than the electrical connection. And you can see this is where the air is going to come out of it. Other than those things, that's really all you need to do to take it out. So I'm going to get underneath the dash here. This is on the passenger side, and we're going to go right up underneath the glove compartment. Okay, now if we go underneath here, we can see the existing blower motor right here, and you can see, let's see, the screws 1, 2, and then there's one over here, 3. We're just going to unscrew those. I think on the earlier models there might have been a panel over this, but on the 2014 at least, it's all accessible. You don't have to take off any panels. We're going to just take out those 3 screws, and we're going to drop it down. It'll still be connected by the electrical cord, and we'll have to undo that. Okay, so I'm going to be using this with the Torx end on it here. Now you can see that's a star, so it's a little bit different. This is a Torx 20 bit on here, so it's a Torx 20. It's not a Phillips screwdriver, which I thought it was, but I think you can still take those out. Maybe with a flathead, might be. We'll see when we get the screws out. But if you have a Torx 20, that's the best thing to use, because that way you'll get a grip on it, and you're not going to strip the heads of the screws. Let's see that this is there's just those 3 to take out. This is the 3rd one. As you can see here, the screws do have a cross piece in them, so you might be able to get a thin flat head on that. You can kind of see there, but again, it's best to use the Torx 20. Alright, so we've got this loose, and I'm probably going to need 2 hands to kind of pull this out. I'll show you how it comes out. Okay, so as it turns out, there's actually 2 more screws that kind of hold this cover on here, this plastic cover. These are Phillips screwdrivers. Yeah, so you're gonna need a regular Phillips screwdriver, and they're hidden. So this one, first one, is up here. You have to put the screwdriver up in this hole. Kind of see up there. That's the first one, and it's holding this black cover on, so this is kind of like a cover over the fan. And I'll show you where the second one is. It's right here. So if you can see it, right there. So it's at the end of it. If you follow this plastic cover around, you'll see that that's the other end. So there's one on each end, basically. So I'm going to have to get under there with 2 hands and take that last screw off right there. And then once this comes off, we can unplug it and drop it out. That piece looks like when you drop it out. Again, there's the one hole there, and the screw at the other end. Now those were both Phillips screwdrivers heads. So you're going to need, besides the Torx for the other screws, you're going to need Phillips screwdriver to take those two out. All right. Now, next thing we're going to do is kind of wiggle the fan out there, and we're gonna, you can see that there is an electrical wire here, okay, and that is clipped on. So you can see the clip there. You follow the wire over here to this white connector. Now the white connector is what's basically holding it in. You're gonna push the tab there and pull that out. I might need two hands to do that. It's a little bit hard of an angle to get at. So I'm going to push that in, pull the connector out. Okay, so you can see the fan motor dropped out now, and there's the connector there. Let's see if we turn the, okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. You kind of see that, again, there's the tab. Just taking that and pulling that straight out of the slot. So putting this back in is going to be the reverse. We're going to put the new thing in, plug it in, and put the screws back in. All right, so I've got the new fan here, plugged it in, the electric connector. Now the only thing is, when you're putting this back up in there, other than putting the screws on, you have to have the air inlet tube connected properly. Now if you look up here, my finger is here, you can see this opening right here, and that's going to be where the fan connects. So we rotate it around. Okay, so you're going to get your fan in there, rotate that, get your, hopefully I can do this with one hand. Alright, here we go. So as you can see there, that's where we need to make sure that that is up in there safely. And now I'm going to put that plastic cover on, put the two Phillips head screwed on while I hold this up, because there's nothing holding the fan up now. So I'm going to have to hold it with one hand and put that cover on. So what I did is actually putting the Torx ones in first before I put the cover on. Just hand tight, I'm putting those three Torx screws in. That'll hold the fan up, so I don't need to do that. I'm going to tighten those up now using the Torx bit and get those three on there, and then I'll put the cover back on. Okay, I've got those three Torx screws in, and the last piece again is that plastic cover, and it's a little bit hard to see the screw hole, so it's right there behind that wire is one, and then the other one is right there. So we need to get to both hands in there and get that cover on. Okay, so the last part is really just testing out the blower motor. Everything works great on all different speeds. That's it. So the probably the hardest part is just putting those last two screws in, because they're hard to see. But if you have the Torx 20 and the Phillips screwdriver, I mean, it's less than a 30-minute job because there's no panel to take off. So it's definitely something you can do yourself if you have the blower motor squeaking and making that annoying sound. It's a relatively inexpensive fix. And if I will put the part number in the description. If you have any questions or comments, you can add them. And subscribe to my channel for more videos.